So our group studied the sexism within sports, and I am Matt Oki.
Jay Speck.
I'm Alexis Imbortong.
I'm Kendra Boone.
So when we say sexism in sports, what are we really meaning? What we're going to talk about are female athletes that are involved in the sports industry, which also includes females who work in the sports industry, and the inequity and the lack of representation that surrounds female athletes and employees in the sports media. What we found are that sports are traditionally paired with masculinity, especially in the past. Female athletes have been allowed to participate in the Olympic Games since the Second Olympics, which took place in 1900. Even though they were allowed to participate at such an early point in time, only 12 of the athletes in the Olympic Games were actually female athletes. And we think that the participation isn't necessarily due to access and lack of access to sports for women, but it's clear that there is less representation of female athletes overall, especially in the past. And this could be due to the fact that female athletes often have to prove their femininity if they don't want to be regarded as overly masculine, and this negative stigma that surrounds females in sports industry. One statistic that really represents sexism in sports is the amount of female athletes who participate in high school sports before and after Title IX. Prior to Title IX, 294,105 female athletes participated in high school sports in around 1971, which is about a year before Title IX was employed. And then afterward, 3,172,637 female athletes participated in high school sports around 2009 and 2010. So you can see a really big improvement there.
Some terms that are associated with sexism in sports would be, of course, sexism, which is the idea that one gender is superior to another, even if it's male to female or female to male. And this encompasses discrimination, harassment, and stereotyping based on what gender it is. Sports media is anything that relates to sports or covers sports media. And this includes newspapers, televised broadcasts, live events, or anything else relevant. Gender inequity is the lack of provision, fairness, and justice in an organization between women and men. Gender performance is the idea that what gender you are influences how well you perform in a certain kind of sport, such as a woman being good at volleyball or men being only good at football. And Title IX was a law passed in 1972, as we discussed before, which prevented discrimination based on sex in programs and activities that receive federal financial assistance.
So sexism today. There's been a huge improvement in gender equality across sports. For example, there are equal amounts of male and female sports at universities. And also there are many more opportunities for females in high school and college. And now there are professional basketball, soccer, tennis, gymnastics, and many more which used to not exist. But still, they still lack the same as men. For example, they don't have as much attention, and especially in the professional sports, there's a lack of pay. And a stat is, as of 2019, the max contract was $110,000 in the WNBA, while the minimum was $838,464 within the NBA. So that gap is huge. But also there's many more publicly known female athletes. For example, the one on the left is a tennis player named Serena Williams, and the one on the right is a soccer player named Alex Morgan.
So solutions that we came up with to combat sexism in sports is to support pay transparency in the Paycheck Fairness Act, which will reduce pay secrecy and give women better tools to address and discuss pay discrimination within the workforce. We can increase female representation in sports media, which is important because even though female participation in sports continues to rise, another huge aspect is sports media, and females are severely underrepresented. And we can also celebrate and highlight the competitive achievements of female athletes, not only to show representation in sports, but also so that their accomplishments could inspire those watching.